So what we've been learning so far is systems of equations. So how many graphs have we been doing? 2 lines that do what? Intersect. What we're going to be doing today is systems of inequalities. Do y'all remember graphing inequalities? You would graph a line, and then you would have to decide if it's dashed or solid, and then you would have to shade up or down. Okay? So let's go over the basic things that you need to know. Remember that less than would be a dashed line, shaded where? Below. Less than or equal to would be a solid line, shaded below. Greater than would be a what? Dashed line, shaded where? Above. And greater than or equal to, instead of being dashed, it will be solid and shaded above. Now, there was some confusion when we graphed the x equals. So if you ever have an x equals, remember it's going to look like a straight up and down line. If it's less than, you shade to the left. And then over here, if it's greater than, if you have a straight vertical, it's shaded to the right. Just like on a number line, to the right is bigger, to the left is less. Okay, but that only works for those straight vertical lines. All the other ones you're looking at, am I going to shade up or down? And which way can you get to the ground, and which way can you get up to the sky? Greater than is up to the sky, less than is down to the ground. Okay, everybody good with this? So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be graphing multiple inequalities, and where the shading meets is all of the solutions that would satisfy both inequalities. Okay? So you want to make sure that when you graph, you're not shading like crazy, just simple lines like this. And wherever it overlaps, I'm going to take a highlighter and highlight that section as my answer. So if you want a highlighter out, you might want to grab one. It's totally up to you. So let's look at the first example. Now remember that they must be in y equals format for you to graph. You can either use your y equals button, and then you could just type it in and hit second graph, and then it'll give you those coordinates to graph, or you can use slope y-intercept, yes? So let's go do this one. Is it in y equals mx plus b form? Yes, I need a slope and a what? And a y-intercept. What is the y-intercept? -2. What is the slope? -1 over 1. Okay, so I am going to go on the y-axis to -2. So everybody look, this is 0, 0. Go down to -2. Put a dot. I am going to go down 1, right 1. Now again, if you struggle with this, just use your y equals button, yes, to get those coordinates. I can also go up 1, left 1. Now, before you go connect, look at the sign. Will it be dashed or solid? Dashed. So I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to connect it with a dashed line. Now I'm going to shade, but again, I'm not going to shade super dark. I just want to show which way it's going to go. What kind of sign is this? Greater than. So am I going to go down to the ground or up to the sun? So which way can I get up? This way, right? So here's what you're going to do. I'm just going to show that it's going to be shaded like this. Make sense? Now we're going to go graph this inequality. Is it in y equals mx plus b form? Yes. So I need an m and a b. Or I can just use my y equals button and go to second graph. What is the y-intercept? 6. What is the rise over run? 3 over 1. So I'm going to go to the y-axis to 6. Put a dot. I'm going to go up 3, right 1. But that's only going to give me 2 dots, so where else could I go? Down 3, left 1. Now, we're not looking at the point where they intersect. We're looking at the point where their shadings intersect, okay? So before we do anything, we got to look at, is it going to be a dashed line or a solid line? Solid. So I'm going to take my ruler and connect the dots, and I'm going to make it a solid line. I am only looking at this graph. Which way am I going to shade for less than? Down to the ground. If I'm on this side, can I ever get down to the ground from this line? No, but can I from this side? Yes, so my shading would be like this. Do you see where the shadings overlap? Right here, yes? So I'm going to take my highlighter, and I'm basically going to say that anything in this highlighted area is a solution. Okay, so everything over here are solutions. Let's also talk about it. What if they're on this line right here? Would it be a solution? No, because it's a dashed line. What about this one? Yes. Now, let's read the question. Is 3, 5 a solution? We'll find 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would that be a solution? Yes, because it falls in the areas where both of them were shaded. You could also just plug 3, 5 into both of those inequalities and see if it's true. Yes? What do y'all think? It's really not too bad, but do you see how if you make one little mistake, the whole thing's wrong? Yeah. So you definitely need to go slow. All right, let's look at the next one. Are the inequalities in y equals mx plus b form? Yes. Okay, so I need to graph the first one. To graph the first one, I need an m and a b. Does this one have a plus b? What does that mean? It's 0. The y-intercept is at 0. What is the rise over run? 3 over 1. So I'm going to go to the y-axis, put a dot at 0, 0, and I'm going to go up 3, right 1. I could also go where? Down 3, left 1. Before I connect, I need to look at the sign and ask, is it going to be solid or dashed? What do y'all think? Dashed. Now let's look at the sign. What kind of sign is this? Less than. So go to the line, and how would you, for less than, how would you go down to the ground? Could I get to the ground from this side? No. Could I get to the ground from this side? Yes. So this is the way I would shade. And remember, you're only going to put a few lines because you're looking for the overlap. Okay, let's do the next one. What is the m, the slope? Negative 2 over 1. What is the y-intercept? Go to the y-axis to 1. You're going to go down 2, right 1. Or up 2, left 1. Is this going to be a solid or dashed line? Solid. Okay, look at the sign. It says greater than. So we're going down to the ground or up to the sun? Greater than is up. From this side of the line, can I go up? No. From this side, can I go up? Yes. Okay, now find where they overlap, and that is your solution. So from here, all of this stuff. And you don't have to shade beautifully. You can see like my highlighter's kind of running out of ink. I just need to be able to see that all of that shaded area. So truly, this is not a hard lesson. It's just little mistakes people make. Okay, turn to the next page. What if we have 3 inequalities? Then you're looking where the shading overlaps for all 3 inequalities. So it's really not hard. You're just graphing 3 times and looking where all 3 overlap. Yes? All right, so here we go. Look how easy these are to graph. When it says y equals, that means it's a straight line that passes through the y-axis. Here's the y-axis, yes? So my line's going to pass horizontally. So for this one, go to the y-axis to -1. Ask yourself, is this going to be a solid or dashed line? Solid. Okay, which way would I shade for greater? Up. Actually, that's fine. I think this question's flawed, but it'll work. Let's change this to x is greater than -2. So just pretend that this already said x. I think that was a typo. Are y'all ready? Where would it be if it says x equals a number? It's going to be a straight line passing through the x-axis. So the x-axis runs like this. If it's passing through the x-axis, it is a vertical line. So here is -2. Is this going to be solid or dashed? Dashed. And for greater than, since it's a straight up and down line, would I go left or right? Right. So far, do y'all see that the solution's going to have to be somewhere over here? Now we just have to figure out how this is going to play into the whole picture. Okay? All right, what do I need to do to this inequality before I do anything? I need to rearrange it. So this has a coefficient of 1. How would I get this 1x to the right? Minus. So I have 2y is less than or equal to -1x plus 4. How would I get rid of this 2? Divide everything by 2. Now, when does this sign flip? If you divide by a negative, which I'm not, so the sign stays the same. So I have y is less than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 2. Is that what y'all got? So I need an m and a b. What is my slope? Negative 1 over 2. What is my y-intercept? So I'm going to go to the y-axis and put a dot on 2 right here. I'm going to go down 1, right 2. Or I could go up 1, left 2. Will this be a solid or dashed line? Solid. Okay, which way is this going to shade if it's less than? Down. Do y'all see the tiny space where they all connect? So right here to here to here. It made a little triangle in the middle, yes? Those are your solutions to all 3 inequalities, because this was that y is greater than or equal to negative 1. This was x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Where's negative? Oh, that's x, sorry. That's y, and then that's our equation, our inequality. All right, would y'all like to try this one on your own? Yes. Okay, use a pencil in case you mess up. Check your first inequality with mine. It should be a dashed line passing through the y-axis at negative 4 and going up 1, right 1. Yes? Then which way should you have shaded? I heard one person say it. Down. Okay, finish your second one if you haven't. When you're finished, check it with mine. How did we do? Good? Does anybody need an explanation on anything? Okay, turn the page. Let's go do this one. The second one. Everybody with me? All right, we're going to skip this one at the top. We're going to go do this one. All right, look at the first one. That is not y equals a number. That is y equals a coefficient of -1 times x. So that has a slope. Does that make sense? What is the slope? -1/1. What's the y-intercept if it's not there? All right, so let's go to the y-axis to 0. Go down 1, right 1. It's going to be a dashed line. And I'm going to shade it's greater than, so I'm going to shade above. Okay, the next one, what is the slope? 1/1. What is the y-intercept? I'm going to go to the y-axis to -4. Put a dot. I'm going to go up 1, right 1. This is also going to be, oh, this is not also, this is going to be a solid line. Okay, which way am I going to shade for greater than? Up. Okay, now I'm going to do the last one. This doesn't have an x in it. So I'm just going to the y-axis to 5. So everybody find the y-axis at 5. Because it says that. And I'm just going to draw a straight line across. Is it going to be solid or dashed? Dashed. And which way would I shade for less? Below. So you see where they all three meet? In this little triangle area. Most of the time when there are 3 inequalities, the solution makes like a little triangle. Most of the time. Okay, let's go to the last two. These are graphed for you, and they ask you to write inequalities from the graphs. Now, you just have to take one inequality at a time. So, does everybody see this line? The first thing you need is a slope and a y-intercept. Yes? Okay, so find the y-intercept. Where is it at? -1. So I'm going to go over here and write the y-intercept is -1. Now I'll do rise over run to get from here to here. My rise is 2, yes? My run is what? So 2 over 3. Positive or negative? Positive, because it's up and right. Okay, so my inequality, now look where it's shaded. Which way is it shaded? Up, so it's greater than. So y is greater than. Now stop. Is it also equal to? No, that's dashed. So greater than 2/3 x minus 1. So I did this one right here. Are y'all with me? Now I'm going to go do this one. Right here. Everybody see it? What axis is that passing through? So it's going to be X is, it's shaded to the right, so greater. Is it a solid line or dashed? Solid, so or equal to. And what number am I at on the x-axis? 3. Do y'all see any other lines? No. So there you go. There's your system of inequalities. Okay, let's go do this bottom one. What do I see? I see 1. I only see 2. Do y'all see 2? Okay, these are easy. Okay, let's start with this one. What axis am I crossing through? So it's going to be y is it solid or dashed? It's dashed. It's shaded up. So greater than, and where am I at? If this is 0, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, it's not going to have a slope or y-intercept if it's a straight vertical line or horizontal line. Now let's go do the horizontal line. The vertical line right here. Which axis am I passing through? X. Is it solid or dashed? Okay, which way is it shaded? Left or right? Left is less than. And where am I at on the x-axis? 2. And that's it. That's your system. All right, I'm going to pass out your assignment. Okay, if you look at 1 through 6, all it is asking is it a solution to the system? So everybody look at number 1. Find 2, 1. Y'all see it right here? Would that be a solution because it's in the shaded region? So your answer would be yes. It's that simple. Now go to the bottom. It wants you to match the system of inequalities with the graph. So you are probably going to have to rearrange these to y equals mx plus b. Don't worry about if it's x is less than 2. That's set up for you. I personally would start with one that looks like this. I would go look for the graph because x is less than 2 is going to look like this, yes? So I'm going to go to the x-axis to 2. Does A have a line going through that? No, so it can't be A. Does B have a line going through x is less than 2? No. Does C have a line going through x is less than 2? I'm not seeing it. Okay, let's go to D. Does D have a line from x is less than 2? Yes, so this might be it. You see what I'm saying? Because see this line right here? That's x is, and it's shaded to the left. That's x is less than 2. Now I'm just going to rearrange this to y is greater than or equal to negative 1x plus 4. So I just move that over, and I'm going to see, does this other one match? Does it have a y-intercept of 4? Well, here's 2. That's 4. And if I go down 1, right 1, is it on there? So I started with this because that's super easy to graph. So when it's x is less than 2, it's a straight vertical line passing through the x-axis, right? So look right here. Was there any line passing through the x-axis right here? No, no, yes. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so this one matches. It says y is greater than. Was it shaded up from there? Yes, so 7 is D. And then mark it out. So I personally would start with these that look like this. Then find the one that has it, then check the other one. Okay? Okay, flip to the back. You're only going to have to graph 6 of them on your own. Okay? Take your time and don't rush through it. I want your final answer to be shaded with a highlighter so that it's easy to grade. Do not forget, if you put a solid line instead of dash, the whole graph will be wrong. So take your time on these. Then when you get to 19, let's see. I might help you all set it up real quick. We're not going to do 20. So let's go set up 19. All right, it says, you work in an Italian ice shop during the summer. You need to order 5-ounce and 8-ounce cups. So everybody look at the x-axis. What does it say? 5-ounce cups. What's on the y-axis? 8-ounce cups. So what kind of equation are we going to write? Standard or y equals mx plus b? Standard, because it's just two rates, right? All right. The storage room will only hold 10 more boxes of cups, so we can't have more than 10. A box of 5-ounce cups costs $15, and a box of 8-ounce cups costs $18. A maximum of $90 is budgeted for cups. Let X represent the 5-ounce, let Y represent the 8-ounce. We already knew that because we read that. Write a system of linear inequalities for the number of cups that can be bought. So let's start thinking. If X is 5-ounce cups and Y is 8-ounce cups, how many more cups can we buy? It says it in this problem. We can only buy, I can only buy 10. So how would I write that? X plus Y doesn't equal 10. I can buy up to 10. Less than or equal to 10. Now we're going to do the cost one. Okay? All right, so remember 5 ounce is X. So everybody find 5 ounce. How much do they cost? 5 ounce costs what? So how would I write that? 15 X plus, let's find the 10 ounce, the 8 ounce. How much do they cost? $18. So plus 18Y. We can only spend a maximum of 90. Less than or equal to 90. Now, I did part A for you. Your job is to graph the system. Yes? Could you rearrange them to y equals mx plus b? Yeah. FYI, guys, it's going to be line segments. Okay? And then identify 2 possible combinations. So once you shade that area where it meets both of them, pick any 2 points in there, and that's the answer to C. Everybody good? All right.